Hello, and thank you for joining me. My name is Jennifer, and today I'm going to share 5 pens with you. I'm going to share 3 Lamys and 2 Moonman, which has now been renamed to Majohn, I believe is how you pronounce it. But the ones I have are still the Moonman brand on them. So I thought I would share these ones with you because I know if you're just starting out with fountain pens, these are pretty easy to get your hands on, and well, let's just start with these ones here. So this is the N6 by Moonman, and it comes in different colors. I chose the blue because I'm a sucker for blue, and the acrylic has like, oh, I'm gonna butcher the word, but I'll try anyway. Chavoyancy, I believe it's called, but it's the shimmer. And in the sun, it's really, really beautiful. But it comes with a glass tip option, although I have the I think it's a medium nib. I'm not exactly sure, but that's the nib I have on it. I don't have the glass tip on it. I did, but I prefer this for sure. And I don't have my glasses on, but I think, let's see, it says super, I don't know. It says Dyke Super something, which I don't have my glasses on, so I can't tell you exactly what it says. But it's a steel nib. It's fairly smooth, and it's a nice pen. It fits nice in the hand. I have smaller hands, so it fits nicely. The cap does not post, but that doesn't bother me at all. It does not have a pen stop, so it will roll right off your desk. So have a pen holder or something if you're going to get this pen. But I like it. It's very simple. It's minimalistic. Makes me happy when I look at it, so it's a winner in my book. And I will try to show you how these write as well. But first I want to go over them. This pen is under $30. So to me, that's a pretty good price because it's probably going to last you more than 10 years. So that's like $3 a year to enjoy a nice writing experience. The other Moonman, and I just got this one like a couple weeks ago, but the other one I've had for quite a while. I don't even know how long I've had this pen. Right now it's inked up with Colorverse Cat, which is a shimmering ink, and it is the M2. It has a fine nib on it that has been ground to an architect point, which means, and I'll show you later when I show you how they write, it just means that the downstroke is thin and the side stroke is thick. And I did this so that when I'm practicing writing my Hebrew, then it looks correct. So you can see that on the band here it has the Moonman. And again, this one does not have a clip and it doesn't have a roll stop, so it will roll right off your desk if you let it. So good pens. Again, this one was under $30 when I bought it, and I couldn't tell you how long I've had it because it's been quite a while. But under $30, good options, especially if you're just getting into things and you like demonstrators. This one is called an eyedropper pen because there's no cartridge inside. You just fill the body up with ink, and you're good to go. And this one has a cartridge inside. Actually, I think it has a converter. Yeah, this one has a converter. And there's ink in there, so I don't want to take it out to show you any more than that, but yeah, it's a nice, and it came with it. I didn't have to buy it separately. So those are 2 of the Moonmen I have. I have others, but I'm showing you the ones I'm currently using. And then I have the Lamy AllStar. This one is called Tourmaline. It was, I think, a limited edition or a special edition. But I have like a love-hate relationship with this design. I think it's not very attractive. However, the pen is so reliable that I refuse not to use it. And this one is metal, has an aluminum body. It has a plastic grip, and it has a steel, this is an extra fine nib, and it comes with a cartridge, but I purchased a converter because I prefer converters over cartridges, and so you have to purchase this separately, and I believe this is around $8 for this thing, the converter. And the pen, I want to say was $40. So, and I'm getting ink all over myself because that's one of the joys of owning fountain pens, is you get to have inky fingers. And then this is a Lamy Safari in the color Petrol, and it's plastic. The whole thing is plastic. This nib is dark. It's I don't know. It's a special edition, and it's got a dark nib. And the nib is I don't know what size nib it is. Probably a fine. Because I went through a phase where I only wanted to write with fine or extra fine nibs, and now I pretty much don't like them. But the other Lamy that I have is this one here. And normally I go for a blue pen, but I saw this one and I wanted to get this one. So this is quite the jump in price, though. It is a cigar-shaped pen. It is capless. There's no cap on it. Let's focus on this. There we go. It's called the Lamy Dialogue 3. It was designed by an Italian designer, Franco Salivio. And I apologize if that didn't sound right to you. I don't speak Italian. But it's a very, very well-designed pen. Lamy really outdid themselves with this one. And what you do is you twist. So you twist, and the nib comes out, and then you twist it when it goes back. And I'll try to get this to focus right there and show you again. So it has like this mechanism that opens and closes, and then the nib comes out and goes back in, and then it closes. It keeps the nib from drying out. But I saw this pen. This is the piano white color, and I got the pen for myself for my birthday present to myself. And I know after watching, so Goulet Pens several years ago went to Lamy and in Germany and saw how they do everything, and they did like a how it's made video. You should definitely go watch that. But when I saw how they make their pens and stuff, I just really wanted to support that company more because just the way they do things was really attractive to me. And I try to use it every single day, even if it's just to sign my name on paperwork. But let me show you how it writes, and I'll show you how the other ones write as well. So this one has, let me tell you, this one has a shiny white lacquer finish. The clip is platinum coated. The tip is a bicolor tip, which is has a gold tip down the middle and then platinum on the sides. And this one is an extra fine nib, but to me it writes more like a fine medium, but that also depends on the paper. So the thing you need to know about fountain pens is the ink, the nib, and the paper all need to work in harmony in order to give you the optimal writing experience. Because if your ink, and like this part here is called the feed, if the feed can't feed the nib with enough ink, you'll have a very dry writing experience. But if your feed floods your nib, then you'll have a very wet writing experience. A lot of flex pens are called wet noodles if they are properly fed, if their feed is proper. Usually an ebonite feed is needed for that. I know I'm throwing a lot of terms around if you don't know these. and you want to know them, I recommend you look them up because I only know a little bit and not enough to explain anything very well. I just enjoy using fountain pens. I've used them since I was 11 years old, and my parents gave me a set for my birthday so that I could practice calligraphy. So I've always loved them. And my dad used to use a fountain pen, and he would change the cartridges in them. And I loved seeing on the paper how it would go from one color slowly to the next color down the page. And to me, that was magical. I loved it, and I've enjoyed them ever since. But okay, so let's see if we can zoom in a little bit closer and see if we can write something. Also, I am not a calligrapher, so don't expect anything magical coming out of my pen right now. But let's see. This is the Lamy Dialogue. I always want to say conversation, but it's a dialogue. And this is the 3 in piano white. And the ink that I'm using is my go-to ink. It is the Lexington Gray by Noodlers. And I actually have a bottle of that. So this ink is very reliable. It is what Noodlers calls bulletproof. Bulletproof does not mean waterproof. It is water resistant though. It will bond permanently to any cellulose paper, and it keeps forgers from washing your checks and writing their own amounts and signatures, and well, not signatures, but their own amounts on your checks. So that is that. Another reason why I love using fountain pens is because you just barely touch the paper, and it writes. You don't have to push down. I find when I use a ballpoint pen, I push really, really hard into the paper, and then my hand gets tired because I'm gripping it so hard, and I can't write for very long. But with these pens here, I can write for a good hour before I get tired. Yeah, so that is the Lamy Dialogue. Very smooth, very nice, very well thought out design. Couldn't be happier with that purchase. Okay, let's do one of the Moonman pens. This is the I think it's the N6. It's hard to keep track of them, you know? You have to keep notes and spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff. So this is N6, and the ink in here is Ackerman Dutch Blue. And I think the nib is, honestly, I really feel like it's a fine. So, also nice writing experience. Not as nice as the Lamy, but for the price, I wouldn't expect it to be. And here we have this one. This one has a shimmering ink in it, but I doubt I'll be able to show you the shimmer. And I like to shake it up a little before I write. But this one has the Architect grind on the nib. You can send your nibs away and have them ground many different ways, and it just depends on your own handwriting style. So this is the Moonman M2, that's what that one's called. And the ink in here is Colorverse Cat. And so you can see here that the downstroke is thinner than the side stroke. So normally you would have a thick downstroke, and a thin side stroke. But the nib on this one is ground so that when I'm practicing writing Hebrew, then it looks correct. So, okay, and then, yeah. Also a good writing experience. It came with a nice writing experience. It came with a rhodium point fine. Came with a fine nib. I recommend if you're going to have a nib ground down, you at least have a medium. A broad nib is better. Okay, and then the Lamy. Let's try the Lamy. Let's see here. The back does post on these, and it posts really well, and it stays there. Lamy really puts a lot into their engineering, and I appreciate that a lot. I just am not in love. I think maybe it's this clip that I don't love. I don't know. There's just something about it I don't love, but I do love writing with them. So I can't hate on them too much. So this is the extra fine. This is the Lamy AllStar. All the AllStar means is that it's aluminum body and not plastic like the Safari. And this is tourmaline. And extra fine nib. And the ink in here is Irushizuku Konpeki. And hopefully I said that correctly and didn't offend anyone. So that is that one. I love the AllStar. I actually prefer AllStar to the Safari. I don't enjoy the plastic, but this is nice plastic. For being plastic, it's good quality plastic. So this is, let's see. This is the Lamy Safari, and it is, let's see if I can see the nib. It's really hard. See, it looks like the letter C to me, but can you zoom in? Can I zoom in here? Nope, too close. I'm gonna say that it is a fine. The color is petrol, and I think it's a fine nib. And the ink is Robert Oster Lake of Fire. And I haven't written with this one in a while, so it's a little bit skippy. There we go. I love this ink, by the way. I thought they were a good match for each other, but that ink's one of my favorite. The shading on it is beautiful. It's just as much shading as the Lexington Gray. But yeah, so those are just some. I have a lot more pens that I could share with you, but these are just the ones that I have in my office, actually. This one travels with me in my purse. I don't leave it in my office, but this one is a traveler, so I don't leave that one hanging around. But these ones are pretty much in my office at all times, hanging out, ready for me to grab and use. And I have just as many inks as I do pens, because you know, there's an ink for everything. If you have a need for any kind of ink, that ink exists, I promise you. If you're left-handed and you don't want to smear ink all over the place, then you would get Noodler's Bernanke black, blue, red, whatever color you want, but you just get the Bernanke in front of it, and it's a super fast drying ink, even on Tomoe River paper. It is amazing, and I love it. And since getting that ink, which is not in any of these pens, it's actually in my Kaweco Sport, but since getting that ink, it's been a joy to use this journal again. This is the Cafe Notes, and it dries super fast, and you don't have to stress out about it. If you like shading inks, they exist. If you like sheening inks, they also exist. If you like any color under the sun, it's out there. And that's one of the biggest joys about using fountain pens, is you can find some of these. I also have vintage fountain pens, which I love a lot too, but I just wanted to show the basics today. You know, I recommend try a Moonman or a Jinhao and see how you like using fountain pens, because you might not enjoy it at all, and it might not be for you. You might say, nope, I'm a ballpoint only type of a person, and that's okay. You are allowed to be a ballpoint only person. But don't invest huge amounts of money until you know for sure that you're going to like it and enjoy it. And, you know, and you might love the way these look. This might be just tick all the boxes for you, and this is all you buy and all you ever use. It's all my daughter uses. She has a gunmetal one, and she won't use anything else. She uses a medium nib, and that's it. Me, I don't know. I don't collect purses or handbags or shoes even, but I do collect fountain pens. And I try them, even the super cheap and the more expensive. But this, I thought long and hard about buying before I bought it, because it's an investment. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions down below, and I will try to answer them for you. And if you want to see more fountain pens, just let me know. I have some more fountain pens actually on their way to me now. I bought a new one yesterday, so it'll be here probably in a week or so. As always, Phil's gonna leave a secret message somewhere in this video, so make sure you timestamp it if you found it, and the first person to timestamp it will get a shout out from me. Last week we didn't have anybody find his secret message that I saw. I could be wrong. If you did, for last week's video, and I missed you this time, I will definitely give you a shout out next time. But yeah, so no one from last week found his secret message, so good job, Phil. Way to hide it. And yeah, if you have any questions, like I said, leave them down below. I think fountain pens and journaling and leather covers all are like the trio that makes my heart happy, at least. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you. See that? Just rolls right off. So definitely needs to be corralled. But anyway, I'll see you next time. Have a great day.